This is Lifeline of Lifeline Presents, bring it to you game by Lifeline. We got the Triple C CEO in the building. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks a lot, Steve, for having me on with you.
I always. I met you years ago, and we always had great conversation, great energy. As a matter of fact, you was with the prayer team we had. Was you the leader of the prayer team?
Yeah.
We did that about a year and some change a few years ago. Matter of fact, I met
Yeah.
you through Brandon, actually.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna get to it. We don't skip around, we don't play around. We get straight to the cards. This is the relationship card game. We got three cards we're gonna go by, and I'm gonna spring a little bonus one on you. I didn't let you know about that one, but we'll get right to it. Okay, so we're gonna do the blue card first. All right. My mate, family oriented, someone who puts family and loved ones at the core of their priorities. Is that a must? B, preferred. C, conversation. D, a deal breaker. Answer, then explain why you chose that answer.
I would say be preferred. Is definitely not a deal breaker because you don't know people's history with their family. Some people, families have had to evolve and they've had different experiences that led to disenfranchisement, anger, resentment. So, whereas yeah, they look like they've moved on, they progress, life is good. There's sometimes could still be some lingering stuff between that person and their family. So ideally, I would want somebody who would want their family to be an important part of their life, but that's not always the case. The reality of it is we have family by blood, but then we have family by choice. So sometimes the family by blood may not be the family that you want to be around, you want your kids to know or grow up with. And it's funny that you asked that question because my mother and father, when they got married, they both were their second marriages to each other. My
Mm,
father was very selective on who he brought around as far as family members. And for years, I didn't understand that because, you see people growing up, they got cousins and, aunts and uncles over all the time. And we kind of like, well, where's our family? But my father chose certain people to be around. And that helped me to understand, yes, I do prefer, that my mate have a close relationship, but if I don't know all the details, I can't be insistent that this person have their family around because there's things that I just don't know.
mm. Yeah, that was a good answer right there. You made for this. But I think with me, it's preferred as well. And for the same reasons you say, um, I'm a big family person. Like I love my family. I still believe they my everything. But I do understand you have family and you have relatives.
Hmm.
So I know how to separate and and mine leans towards conversation.
Hmm.
It leans towards conversation. It's like B, I prefer, but let's at least have the conversation if that's not the case.
Okay.
It's like you said, it's not a deal breaker. And just help me understand if they're the bad people or are you the bad people?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
sometimes just because a person is not a part of a family, that don't mean it's something the family done. Sometimes it's something what they done. So I have
Hmm.
to have an open mind and understand, but I prefer it because I like to do family things. I like to bring
Hmm.
my family around, and usually if a person not family oriented, sometimes they might not understand why you are.
Okay.
So it's preferred and leaning towards a conversation, but I'd rather have that dynamic so we could spend time on both sides. I mean, I'm not having
Hmm.
children now, so it kind of don't matter right now. You know, I'm
Yeah.
done with that.
Yeah.
But especially if I was younger, I would rather a person be engulfed in a family. So our
Yeah.
children could understand it, not just on my side.
But what if your person doesn't want to talk about it? See, so like you said, when you're younger, but there are some things people just don't want to talk about. They abstain from having those conversations. So how do you deal with that?
Well, when I deal with a person that can't talk about things, it's going to limit my growth with them because I'm not a person that want to step on things that I don't have an understanding on how the foundation is. Like when you go up the stairs, the steps is made for you to put one foot on and move forward. But if you not telling me something, that's not a steady ground right there.
Mhm.
It's gonna be hard for me to lift my other foot up and be secure with not knowing. So that's how I look at it. So if we can't talk about it, I could deal with you. So I'm a different dude. We can have this surface level relationship, and I can love you and be loyal to you.
Mhm.
But if I'm gonna sign that paperwork and go before God and things like that, we gotta have a better understanding. If you can't talk about stuff, I can't talk about that.
Yeah. So then wouldn't you say that it's better to like have marital counseling and find out this stuff before this person actually becomes your helpmate and then y'all are sharing bills, a house, you know, it's like people, okay, see, and this is so funny that we're talking about this because this is real stuff that happens. You know, everybody looks like, oh, he looked good, she looked good, finances together, credit together. But when it gets down to spiritual things, family and relationship things, people need to have those conversations before you say I do and become a mate. Agree or disagree?
I agree. But we ain't gonna get through these questions. We ain't gonna get through these questions if you keep putting layers and layers and layers. And so we gonna jump on.
But you know the triple C CEO, that's what I do, right?
I know, and that's why I wanted to have you because I already know your energy and I know how your mind works. But we ain't gonna get through these questions if we keep like we could have one question. And I can already tell I'm gonna have you back because we could dig into something so you could go we could go back and forth on
Sound
one thing.
good. Sound good. Sound good.
Okay, but you ain't gonna do it to me today. Let me get this right. So blank and why? It's the yellow card. Blank and why? I enjoy blank with my mate and why. A, double dating. B, church. C, music concerts. D, going to the movies. Answer, then explain why you chose that answer.
Music concerts. Both my guy and I, we love music. I grew up in a household with music. He writes music, and that's like a common ground for us. You know, and even on a tough day when things get a little bit crazy, what's the old expression? Music calms the savage beast. So you can find something that y'all can groove to and just kick back, relax. And when you go out to concerts and you feel that energy, you're with people, everybody's just like grooving and laughing and smiling. To me, that right there is like our sweet spot to go to these concerts and just let it all hang out.
Hey. Now, and the funny thing, when I was picking, so I picked some cards tailored to some people and try not to cross the line because I was gonna flip, but then I'm like, I don't want to put person on the line, and then the way we record here is either you like it and it get played, or you don't like it and it get scratched. That's it. We not editing, we not doing so.
Mhm.
Be mindful of what you put out your mouth, you know?
Exactly.
So and it was funny. I just knew you was gonna pick church. I just knew it. I just knew it, and you surprised me. And mine's is D, going to the movies. The movies is big to me. I'm the original cable guy. Like I love movies. I watch TV like a kid. Like I grew up watching TV, and to go to the movies was always great growing up in New York. Growing up
Hmm.
in New York, because we went Thanksgiving Day religiously.
Yes. Yep.
After we eat and everything, the kids go to the movies and adults do what
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
know what they do because we wasn't there.
Right.
And Christmas the same thing. That's why people down south don't understand. That's why movies come out on Christmas Day. Because this is the day when everybody could be off and as a family you go watch the
Yes.
movie. So to me, with my mate, even a matinee, it could be a Tuesday matinee.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. It's just sitting there in the movie theater and enjoying it. It just takes me to a nostalgic place as being a child and just being happy because sometimes we couldn't afford to go to the movies. So when
Hmm.
you get to go, it don't matter if we sneaking in candy or we buying candy. It just was the experience of having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the last one is my mate card. It's bad spending habits. Someone whose spending hurts their financial picture. Their financial picture. Is it A, a must, B, preferred, C, conversation, or D, a deal breaker?
Definitely a conversation because I want to understand their relationship with money. Okay. Some people have poor spending habits because maybe in their life they didn't have money. So now that they making money, they just out here like, okay, I'm buying a new car, a new house, a new this. So I want to understand a person's relationship with money. But then also too a conversation because as we're getting older, we're maturing. We can't just be out here just throwing away money. Money, as our parents used to say, money don't grow on trees. So once I figure out what your relationship with money is, and do you have a future plan on what you're going to do with your money, because I do believe in giving people allowances, in the sense of grace. I shouldn't say allowance, but giving people grace. Because,
Mhm.
there was a season in my life where I spent money frivolously, but now I'm in a different season of my life. And so I'm like, okay, I can't be out here, doing all of that. So I want to have a conversation with my mate, my partner, my significant other to find out what's driving those bad spending habits. Is it a lack mindset? Is it, an irresponsible mindset? Is it, whatever the case may be? And by us having the conversation, hopefully, they'll be transparent and honest enough and we can figure that thing out. So then this way I can make an informed, intelligent decision on how we're going to do our finances moving forward.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you. It's definitely a conversation. It's definitely a conversation. And I understand, and that's why the space I'm in, like I've had money, I've had not money. Even like right
Hmm.
now, this probably because I'm a transparent dude. This probably one of my seasons where I'm not hurting, but I'll have a prefer of bread like I used to have.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is that when you talk to your mate, you try to make sure that they could manage what they have. And
Hmm.
with the key word on this card, it's a hurting their financial, situation, picture,
Hmm.
because sometimes your money don't have to be where you want it to be,
Right.
but it's enough to take care of what you need. But
Hmm.
once the key word on there is hurting, it's almost conversation a deal breaker.
Hmm.
Because if we
Hmm.
could sit down, if we could be transparent and we could adjust, because at times I know my spending gets different. I might
Hmm.
catch a little thing where I'm like, you know what? Like I need to fall back. But I have
Hmm.
the discipline enough to pull myself back. But like, you know what? I'm not online shopping or Nike app shopping. I'm not doing anything for 4 months, and I'm not gonna go on any trips for a minute until I
Yeah.
stack my bread back up, until I get back where I want to be. The
Hmm.
whole thing. So when you have that conversation with them, and if they allow you, because a lot of people can't be transparent about what's going on. I
Yeah.
don't really care because at the end of the day, if you pay attention you're going to see it anyway.
Exactly. It
You
comes
know,
out.
so
Hmm.
I'd rather talk about it so we could see what it
Hmm.
is, and then we can make a decision, and they're understanding this. Because not a deal breaker. I could deal with somebody, but like I said a minute ago, it just tell you what level I'm gonna do it with you.
Right.
So therefore, and I'm gonna make sure you don't hurt me.
That part. That part.
Exactly. So we done with the relationship game because you gave some good answers. I really enjoyed you. That first one, we might have to double back on, but right now we're gonna get to the open dialogue. I love this part because we could go back and forth, engage how we desire. Those questions right there, relationship game questions, it's like the heat up. It's
Okay.
like to get
Okay.
us comfortable to answering questions until we
Mhm.
get to the open dialogue. All
Got you.
right. So now the open dialogue question, I can't wait to see what you think about this one. But the number one question, we got three questions. Oh, I didn't ask you the bonus question. I'm all over the place. I didn't ask you the bonus question. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Blank and why? I love it when my mate and I blank and why. Answer freely. So this is one of them questions where you get to answer freely. So whatever you and your mate love to do, tell me and explain why y'all love to do it.
I love it when we travel.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
And I feel like for us, travel just it takes that edge off because both of us are career driven. We also have businesses. So when we get away, it's just our time to like really tap in and plug into each other, have a different experience, eat new food, learn about another culture, or even just like sit back and chill at the beach or the pool. So those moments like that, it brings us closer together and it makes our relationship more exciting. So yeah, I like that when we travel.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I love that too. I done answered this so many times, so I'm not even gonna really answer, but I'm gonna tell you some things and I go into them. I love long trips,
Mhm.
cars, when we driving to destinations. I love that. I love playing games at home with my mate. Everything that I'm bringing brings a different intimacy. So I could go on and on, but if they really subscribing to the podcast, they already heard me. I just want to hear different people answers. So I'm not even going to beat a dead horse with that one.
Okay, okay,
We're going to jump into it because I want to get to this. This one I want to get to.
okay.
The open dialogue number one, well, not number one, well, I guess the number one question is single until married. What is your intake? Do you subscribe to it, or if you, even if you do or don't, like, what is your, how do you feel about that? When people say that, or just do you even subscribe to it?
I do believe you're single until married because marriage is a covenant, it's a contract, it's an agreement that two people enter into. And until somebody says, will you be my lawfully wedded wife? And we stand before God and before man, I still consider myself single. However, I'm going to respect my relationship, my dating relationship that I'm in with that person. So I'm not trying to do anything out here tricky or foolish. I'm too old for that nonsense. But until I am actually somebody's wife and they've given me their last name and I've, signed on a dotted line, I'm still single.
Okay, okay. You gave a good answer. Your dude must be in the background. Like, yeah, nigga, you
No, he's not even here.
no, but check it out. Check it out though. All jokes aside, I hate this term. I hate, but you know what? Your answer is pretty good. So you one of the women that gave the answer that I could kind of understand. You still moving differently,
Hmm.
and the only reason I say that because you're saying that you're single, right?
Hmm.
But you're still upholding being in a committed relationship.
Absolutely.
And that's why I feel like we don't even have to say that.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like if I'm with you, I don't have to say I'm by myself,
Right, right. I get that. Yeah.
you know, but
Hmm.
that's the
Hmm.
energy you give me. And then you give that person that's pursuing you, that's trying to build with you confusion,
Hmm.
you know, because and the sad thing about it is whoever made that popular,
Hmm.
I want to know what type of spirit you put in people.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
You know, what type of spirit you put in people when you
Hmm.
say that.
Hmm.
Because if you don't have to say it, if you believe that, you don't have to say what you believe all the time. But when you wear
Hmm.
this with a badge of honor, I'm single until I'm married. I'm single. Like you dancing, we single till we married. Like we, like what are we doing here?
Hmm. Hmm.
Are we
Hmm.
making something that you really don't want to be popular or trendy?
Hmm.
You know, so
Hmm.
I just don't subscribe to, but you gave a good answer. So therefore, I understand that. I think that men, we don't sit around saying that.
No, men definitely don't. Absolutely not.
Because
Mm-mm.
it's
But
no,
But
go
Steve,
ahead.
understand this from a woman's perspective, okay? See, men do operate differently. Y'all do not say stuff like that. But for a woman, the status of the relationship is everything. So until you make that woman your wife, she's still just your girlfriend, and she's gonna feel like, okay, well, he's not stepping up to say, "Will you be my wife?" Even though we're in a committed relationship, there's still that gray area there where she still, to some degree, feel like she's single.
Yeah, and I understand that. Believe me, man, I've been. I've been looking at this word for a minute. You hear me? This phrase for a minute. I'm just happy I got a platform to talk to some people. I might run this out the whole 2025 with
Why
women
not, right?
because
Right?
I'm just trying to understand
Yeah, yeah.
the ideology of a person when or not even say we doing things like we a couple, but
Hmm.
in your mind you still feel single.
You know why she still feels single? Because she doesn't have your last name. She's still legally, lawfully not your wife. And see, this is where we, as a dating adults, have to be careful. We will do all of the things that are marital, but we don't take that next step to say, okay, I'm gonna lock this down. This is my wife forever. He's my husband forever. So there's still a little bit of that gray area. That's all I'm saying.
No, no, no. You trust me. I ain't trying to fight y'all women. You feel me? I understand it. I understand it. But my rebuttal is, I get that.
Okay.
But you don't go from the first floor to the second floor without taking steps.
Indeed. Indeed.
So my
Okay.
thing is, on each step, you're still on the first floor.
Okay.
Like, come on,
Okay.
we gotta say we making some type of movement. So, like, you're not on the first floor no more.
Mm-hmm.
Once you taking these steps, you're in a relationship. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to say legally, when you fill out an application, yes, you single.
Mm-hmm.
I'm single in a relation. I don't know how to word it, but it
Mm-hmm.
just don't sound good to me if I'm courting
Okay.
somebody and they saying they single until they married. Because I'm like, okay, well, if I cheat on you now, right? I'm single, so it doesn't really matter, right? Because if we both single, it's not cheating. Because you're not my wife.
Okay. Okay.
I,
So
I,
so so then so so then a man can't get mad if she go out and do the same thing.
but if you operate and if you telling me that anyway, I don't think much of you anyway. Because
Okay.
you still saying you single anyway. You
Okay.
lost, you lost some things with me.
I got you. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, because you tell me you single anyway until I put a
Yeah.
ring on you. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to make sure you ring worthy.
Okay. All right. Ringworthy. I like that. Come on now.
But
See, I
now
got
you're telling
mine
me
on.
you single until you get the ring. I believe that. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said my first thing is like, yo, so if I cheat, then I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
I'm single anyway. So being
Yeah.
single is not cheating.
Mm. Technically, yeah, if you really want to get down to it, yeah. And I
You know,
and I know some people will disagree with me on that, but you're right though, because if you are not married to a person, yes, there's to be respect and commitment in a relationship, but you can't go to a court of law and say, I want to sue him because he cheated on me. And I mean, people do that dumb stuff, but I'm just saying it's a different weight classification when you're married versus when you're not married.
so I need to talk to my daughter because I haven't cheated like I thought I had been all these years. I really haven't
Yeah.
because I was single.
Right. But you know what? She probably feel like that because it was her mom. So, she's taking it personal. She's
But no,
taking.
but listen, when we got married, I didn't cheat.
Oh, okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to clear my name, but we'll go to the next question. We'll go to the next
You're a
question.
little antagonistic. So,
All right, we'll go to the next question. Next question is, can men and women be platonic friends?
Lord have mercy. Now, Steve, let me tell you something. Now, if my guy was on here, me and him, we would go toe for toe, blow for blow on this
Oh,
one.
you could invite him. We got Zoom could have a lot of people. We don't have to do this. So whenever you want to have him,
Yes.
just
Because
let me know.
he and I differ. I do believe that men and women can be platonic. I have male platonic friends. I've never looked at them in that capacity. I've been friends with them for 30 years plus. Even now, I have male friends. I do believe that men and women can be platonic. But he disagrees with me. We've gotten into this. He was like, "Oh, H-E-double-L, no, it ain't no way possible to because bro gonna look at you one way." And I'm like, I don't even be around men like that. You know what I'm saying? You and I, we've known each other for a decade or more. I could be in a room with you and be like, "Yo, that's my brother, what's up?" And we've never looked at each other like that.
Yeah.
So I really do believe that men and women can be platonic. Now, I will say though, is everybody be careful because you never know what's sleeping inside of a person. And if you have one drink too many or a conversation get too risky, a person's mind might flip and start to see things differently. But at the onset, yes, I do believe men and women can be platonic friends. Yes.
Yeah, I believe so too. I believe so too. And I'm with you, because I've known you for a while. And the sad thing about it, we don't talk like we used to because we're not in
Right.
the same circles and things, and we're not in
Mhm.
the same church, and we're not on a prayer line no more. But we always support each other,
Mhm.
and that's big. So we are a testament of it.
Exactly. Mhm.
It's just that some people, and we got to understand that I can't let your filter of your life dictate how it flows for me.
That's right.
Because when you pour life through your filter, it comes out different than it comes through my filter.
Absolutely.
Because my experiences poke holes in my filter, and sometimes we harbor certain trust and different issues that we have within ourselves, especially when we know that how we move or how we've done or how things been
Hmm.
done to us. And I
Hmm.
can't let a person project their reality on me.
Hmm.
So it becomes real different. And but I just realized what boundaries and being healthy, and I've crossed the lines before.
Yeah.
And as I'm older now, I realize those lines shouldn't have been crossed. But
Mm.
I'm wired different where I could deal with stuff like that. Maybe because I'm a man or maybe because I'm Steve. I don't know which one come first. But I could deal with crossing the line and be cool because when my mind made up, my mind made up. So it don't even matter. But I understand it how some people might not be, but I'm
Mhm.
definitely believe that it could happen because I have friends for 30,
Mm.
40 years, people in
Yes.
the army, and to be funny, some of them I was attracted to, you know,
Hmm.
and we became friends and we just didn't cross the line, or they wouldn't
You,
let me, or they was trying to cross the line, or I wouldn't let them, or however. That's why it takes two to tango. As long as one person stays strong,
yep. I
then
agree.
you can stay platonic.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Now this is the last question. You already alluded to this with your dude, You already alluded to this. Now with your mate, can he have opposite sex friends?
Yes. And I'll say this. I'm one of those women. I pay very careful attention to patterns, behaviors, conversations. And so if I find that, my guy, he has female friends, I'm going to watch what he says about those female friends, how he presents it. Does he light up when they talk about him? Because, you can say little things about a person and that can tell you the story without telling you the story. But then I am also one of those women too, where, and I've been married before, I embrace my mate's friends, male and female. They're all always welcomed in my home until you give me a reason not to trust you. And so with my ex-husband, a lot of his female friends, I am still friends with today, and we haven't been married in over 20 years. But when he and I came into each other's lives, everything that came with him, I welcomed it in. Some people stayed, some people left. But I was okay with him having female friends. And even now, my guy that I'm with now, I'm okay with him having female friends. I'm just going to be, cautious and listen for what's really going on. And like my best friend told me, she said, listen for what's not being said. And that right there can tell you a lot about the dynamic of their relationship. But I also trust my mate, okay? So I look, and he'll probably see this when you post it. I trust him. But if you get out there and you screw up, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, we're engaged now. So we are on that trajectory to marriage. So I'm like, look, if you decide you don't want me and somebody else is out there, don't keep holding on to me. Let me go. You go do you and I go do me.
Mm, yeah.
That's it. I'm too old for the games.
Yeah, I think we all are. We all are, but the big thing that you said is trust.
Yep.
The people right now, and I said this, I interviewed somebody earlier today, and trust is a thing that we lost. I don't know if we got these dating scams or what's going on, or these date baits or whatever, what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of
Mhm.
people is not healed, not over in a
Yes.
negative space, and trust is not. And I haven't always trust before. I mean,
Okay.
I sat there one day. I'll give you a little funny story. One day I was engaged. I wasn't even married yet. I was engaged. I was home work, but I kept remembering coming into the room, right? And then my fiance, every time I come, she would close her briefcase, right? She would close her briefcase every time I come in the room. And in my mind, I felt like she was trying to hide something from me, right? So one day I'm off work, right? She's at work or whatever. I think our son is in daycare. Whatever's going on. I got her briefcase. It got the little spin things, right? I'm sitting there. I promise you, I'm sitting there. I'm on the toilet. I got the thing on my lap on the toilet. No matter, I was on this thing for like 4 hours, right? I couldn't get into it, of course. It was 4 digits. I couldn't break the code.
Lord have mercy.
So when she came home, right? When she came home, I said, babe, I feel stupid, but I was trying to get into your briefcase.
Hmm.
Like it just, she's like, I could have gave you the answer. Is da 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 da. I did it, looked into it. She said, why didn't you just ask me? What's bother you that much?
Oh.
And I realized it was because the stuff I've done, the stuff that I've done.
Hmm.
I wasn't
Hmm.
trustworthy.
Yeah.
I was the guy doing all the foul stuff. They say honor amongst thieves. Like I was the criminal and I couldn't see somebody else, you know, without seeing myself. I put
Hmm.
myself into other people
Yeah.
or hurt that happened to me. With all that story being said, that's why I go harder to trust now because I realize you can't build
Hmm.
nothing if you don't have trust.
That's right. That's
And if you
right.
have transparency, like you said, your ex-husband, friends, yeah, they came around, they could come to the house.
Hmm.
Once you bring that community
Hmm.
and you open your arms and they even see what type of person you are.
That's
Sometimes
right.
they might even back up from even liking your person once they see how cool you are because they might respect that you don't deserve that if
Hmm.
they interfere with what you got going on. So I just realized being transparent and
Hmm.
think of what friends you involved with and what's the capacity. And then to your friends, always salute your mate.
That's
Always
right.
big up your mate so
That's right.
they could big them up. Don't just
That's
go to
right.
them when things are bad.
Hmm.
Go to
Yeah.
them when things are good. Let them know because if you value your mate, your friends will value them. Or if they don't, then you will know what you need to do.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's the show for today. That's the show for today. I appreciate you. Um,
Thank you.
Before we get out of here, this was a great show. I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna allow you to put some drops on because nobody know what the Triple C CEO is. So I'm gonna let you do that, and we can get up out of here.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure. And for all those that will view this segment, my name is Jennifer C. Cook. I'm originally from New York. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a beauty coach. I'm a motivational speaker, a spiritual coach, because I believe in helping people tap into their total selves so that they can live a healthy, whole, happy, and abundant life. By day, I work in corporate, but I also have a son, and life is just good. God is great. I'm out here living my life. So you might see me out somewhere. Make sure you say hello. hello because I'm not one of them kind of people that don't speak. And I just love me. I love people in any way that I can help. And I'm here tonight to help my brother continue to grow his brand. I am here for that. So the Triple C CEO is all about help, motivation, inspiration while building class confidence and courage.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, Jennifer, it's a pleasure always. Until next time, and anytime you want to come back on, because we had good talks during the prayer line and different things that Brandon had going on when we teamed up. And if you have any people, once you show them this, if they want to be a part of the show, just let them know. Let me know. We could work something out.
Will do. You can count on it.
All right. Till next time. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Peace.